The cell phone rang at 3:17 a.m., a shrill scream slicing through the dead silence of the house, and the first thing Mark noticed was the screen. No caller ID. His wife, Ellen, didn't stir beside him, didn't even twitch, and that was wrong, because Ellen woke at the sound of a pin dropping. He fumbled for the phone on the nightstand, heart jackhammering, because who calls at 3:17 a.m. unless someone's dead? But when he pressed it to his ear, there was no voice, just a wet, gurgling rasp, like something drowning in its own blood. Then the line clicked dead, and the screen flickered, showing a photo he'd never taken. Ellen, lying in bed, eyes wide open, mouth gaping, skin gray as ash. Right where she was now. Mark dropped the phone like it burned him, his breath hitching as he turned to her. She was still there, chest rising and falling, alive. A dream? A glitch? He didn't know, but his hands shook as he reached for the phone again. The photo was gone. Just his lock screen now, a dumb picture of their dog, Buster, drooling on the couch. He exhaled, shaky, and set it down. Probably nothing. Probably exhaustion from those late shifts at the mill. He slid back under the covers, willing his pulse to slow. It rang again at 3:19. This time, he didn't hesitate, just snatched it up and barked. "Who is this?" That same gurgling rasp answered, louder now, like it was closer, like it was asterisk in the room. He yanked the phone away, staring at the screen, and there it was again, a new photo. Ellen, but worse, her throat torn open, blood soaking the sheets, her eyes locked on him with a look of pure, frozen terror. He spun to her, but she was fine, still sleeping, still breathing. The phone vibrated in his hand, a text popping up. Look closer. His stomach lurched. He didn't want to. God help him, he didn't want to. But he did. He leaned over Ellen, peering at her face in the dim glow of the phone. Her lips twitched, just a little, like she was dreaming. Then they parted, and a sound came out. That wet, gurgling rasp, soft but unmistakable. It wasn't the phone. It was her. Mark stumbled back, crashing into the nightstand, the lamp toppling with a shatter. Ellen's eyes snapped open, but they weren't hers. They were black, bottomless, like holes punched into her skull. She sat up, jerky and wrong, like a puppet on frayed strings, and her head tilted toward him. "You didn't answer," she said, her voice a low, bubbling croak. "It doesn't like that." The phone rang again. He didn't pick it up this time, just stared as Ellen's mouth stretched wider, impossibly wide, her jaw cracking like dry wood. Something moved inside her throat, a shadow shifting, and then her hands lunged for him, cold and slick with something that wasn't sweat. He screamed, scrambling off the bed, but the phone kept ringing, louder, insistent, vibrating so hard it skittered across the floor toward him. The screen flashed. "Answer me." He kicked it away, bolting for the door, but the lock wouldn't turn, wouldn't even budge. Behind him, Ellen, or whatever she was now, slid off the bed, her body folding at angles that made his gut twist. "Please," he sobbed, pounding the door. "Please, let me out." The ringing stopped. Silence fell, heavy and suffocating. He turned, slow, dreading what he'd see. Ellen stood inches away, her black eyes gleaming, her mouth a gaping maw. In her hand, she held the phone, screen glowing. A new photo loaded. Mark, right there, pressed against the door, his face twisted in a scream that hadn't left his throat yet. "It's for you," she rasped, and the phone rang again, one long, piercing note that drilled into his skull. He took it, fingers numb, and pressed it to his ear. The gurgling was gone. Now it was a voice, low and slick, like oil seeping through gravel. "You can't hang up on me, Mark. Not ever." The line went dead. The lights flickered out. And from the darkness, he heard Ellen laugh, a sound that wasn't hers, wasn't human, wasn't anything he'd ever forget. When the sun rose, the house was quiet. The phone sat on the nightstand, fully charged, waiting. No photos. No call log. Just a single text. "Next time." And somewhere, deep in the circuits, it hummed to itself, patient as the grave.